With the new Phenom drop, we was able to get an event. This event also being online, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new CPU Phenoms event and the ultimate method to maximizing and making the most coins, packs, cards, and more. And the question that I get all the time is this better than the tower, or should I just stick to the tower? And by the end of this video, we will answer those questions. Before we do get any further into the video though, as you can see, 84% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. So go down there and hit that sub button. It helps me out an absolute ton and become a part of that 16%. And with that all out of the way, let's get into the video. Now, what event are we talking about first and foremost? I want to break this down very, very, very deep, and so that you all understand all of this. When you're talking about the solo phenomenal event, it came out with the Phenoms, and what are the rewards to this? Well, you do not stack these, so you're not going to get 50, you're not going to get 2,000, you're not going to get 6,000, you're not going to get 12,000, you're only going to get the tier that you lose at, or if you win all the way up, you're going to get tier level 4. You should not be losing these games. These are very, 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 very easy games. At number 4, you're going to get a 2 Phenoms token and an 80 plus overall BND reward pack. These cards, I've not opened the packs because I actually wanted to open a ton at once. I've not been on the game since Friday as well, since this actually dropped, so I've not been able to really do much, but here are my currently, stacked packs. Now, first off, you get the 80 plus, that's cool, but what else do you get? You get those 2 Phenoms tokens. Where do they go? Well, if we head over to sets, we're going to be able to see there are a few things that we can actually put those Phenoms token in. Let's just go over to program, and let's go over to Phenoms as well. So first and foremost, you have 3 different 85 overall cards. These are completely free. You can play through that event 2.5 times, or technically 3 times, and you're going to be able to get these cards. I will say, I think the halfback and I think the defensive tackle is very worth it. I think both of them are definitely usable. They're definitely going to play on a lot of people's teams, and they're definitely going to start on a lot of people's teams. With that being said, the wide receiver is like 5'9", if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 5'9", that is absolutely horrendous. He's just not going to play. But these are also upgradable with the breakout token, if I'm not wrong. With that being said, first off, there's 385 overall cards. Make sure you do the run enough to just get these. At the end of the day, this is free training as well. But that's not really what we're talking about. More so, what we want to talk about is the 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star packs. In the 3, 4, and 5-star packs, you're going to put in 5 tokens the same way you would the 85 overalls, and you're going to be able to claim a 3-star player, a 4-star player, and a 5-star player. Now, you're probably thinking, well, there's 3-star 80 overalls as well, and that is true, but we're going to hope that we pull something better than just 80s and 81s and, so forth. And obviously, make sure you're opening the pack that is giving LTDs as well. I know the 3-star is and the 5-star is. I don't know what the new LTDs are in. They may be in the 4-star. We may have one in all of them because, yes, you can pull LTDs from this. Now, we have to think about how long these games are taking us, what the rewards we're getting, do they add up? Because you're having to play through 3 of those to even get one sellable pack. So we're gonna have to think through how long the games are taking us, how long the quarters are, which are 2-minute full game quarters, 2 minutes full quarters, full game. But with that being said, let's drop into the nitty gritty of all of this. Fortunately, I do want to give a shout out to I'm Audi CFB. He's in our Twitch every single day. Of course, go down there and hit that sub button or that follow button on the Twitch. If we hit 500 subscribers on Twitch before August 6th, we're going to be doing a 72-hour MUT marathon where we stream 72 hours straight on MUT, but that's only if we hit 500 subscribers, and it's going to be very, very close. With that being said, though, I'm Audi. Shout out to him. He's one of our mods and also a content creator himself. He gave us a little bit of math that actually makes you think quite a bit. Now, first off, if you do 138 wins in the tower, because that is the only thing to compare this, event to. There's nothing else that needs to be compared because that's the only other thing that's even reasonable. If you scroll down a little bit farther, you're going to see the tower event. This is going to give you 610,000 coins every single time you do it. It's going to take about 5 hours. Now, this up here though, if you did 140 wins in this, you get 28 sets. If you only pull 80s, 28 sets times 25k is going to be 700,000 coins, plus the 35 B&Ds you're also going to get. And of course, if you pull only 80s from the B&Ds as well, you're going to have 3565 training cards because you're going to end up quick selling them for training, and that's going to be 2,275 training. Now, with that being said, we have to think of this as we're not going to pull all 80s. If we opened, 28 to begin with, the 28 5-stars, that's the 5-stars. Those are not B&T, those are sellable. If we was to open 28 of those and pull only 80s, I just wouldn't even want to do this to begin with. It'd just be so annoying and tedious, but 28 of those is actually going to be able to get us 700,000 coins nevertheless. Even if I was to pull bare minimum, I don't think you will. I think that number is honestly close to guaranteeing a million, because if you're only pulling 80s, you're getting 700k in just 80 overalls. I really do think, and this is this is a true belief in mine, I think you're going to be able to get maybe close to a mil, if not way more than a million. Of course, if you're pulling an LTD, you're going to be in that 2, 3, 4. You know, you never know what you're going to pull. So obviously we have to say bare minimum. This is the bare minimum you can get, but obviously there's got to be a median as well. We don't know what that median is, but I will tell you it's better than 700k. So 140 games of this is going to be 700k. Now, you have to also think, these games are longer than the tower. The tower's taking you like 2 minutes a game, 2.5 minutes a game. These are 5 to 7 minute games. So how long is this taking you? So if you was to calculate every single one of your 140 wins at 5 minutes a game, which is very reasonable, maybe 6 even, that's not going to add too much to it. But even if it was 6, we're going to calculate at 5 though. That is going to be 700 minutes or 11.667 hours. With that being said, you're able to complete about 2 towers in that time. You're able to get, 138 wins in tower is, I would say you can do that 2 times before you're going to be able to complete this. It's about how much you're making. Now, first and foremost, you're making 610,000 times 2, because you're going to be able to get 2 towers done. So 610K times 2 is 1.2 mil. You need to be able to make back 1.2 mil from all your packs and such. Now, do I think that is possible? Honestly, maybe. Again, we talked about our median. The minimum you're going to have is 700K, and I will tell you now, the tower is straight coins, and yes, that's really nice. Coin is king, no matter what you want to do, what's making you the most coins, but OMG, going into this is just absolutely miserable. Going in, throwing a passing touchdown, getting done. These are actual games. Now, how are you going to complete these the fastest way? You want to know how is it going to take me 5 minutes? Well, let me go ahead and show you in this video as well. I'll tell you now, I've heard a lot of different quote ways. I've heard a lot of different ways to kind of complete this as quick as possible. What I think it is, go over to tempo, turn chew clock on, and the first half, you chew that clock out completely. You get this clock absolutely chewed out. You literally just fall to the ground. You take third downs every chance that you get. Literally run right into them, because obviously when you don't want to, you're gonna be able to get away from them. Now, I will tell you, you do have to think about that. The house rules is 2 points behind the line of scrimmage, 3 points for a sack. Try not to be behind the line of scrimmage. I didn't really mean to do that right there, but as you can see, I mean, if I was to want to get a first down, I could. Now, I've heard another way of people saying they go up and they score first play of the game, and it puts them up 15, so the defending team won't take timeouts, because one problem is that your defending team will take timeouts if you get close. I feel like if you just chew clock the exact way I'm doing, they don't do it. If you're like not within the 20, just try to chew as much clock as possible. Otherwise, they will start taking timeouts. And it's not even that it adds an extra like whole 5 minutes. It's just it's kind of frustrating, because that's a whole set of downs you could have been chewing clock on. So make sure you're, paying attention to that and being reasonable. But as you can see, I'm taking this all the way to the first quarter. First quarter's already done. I've literally been I've not even been recording a minute inside of this game. While we are doing this though, I do want to tell you or talk to you about, this is a lot more fun in the sense of you're getting to open packs, and I understand coin is so, as you see, they're taking a timeout there because it's 4th down. I should have got a first down. I know coin is king, and I know coin is more important than anything in this game, but it also does come to, you don't want to burn yourself out on playing so many towers. I'll be completely honest, bro. I've played so many towers, boys, and I mean, I've got bored of them. Obviously, they're not fun, but they do make me a lot of coins, and that is what, kind of drives me and pushes me to continue to do those. But I will say it is very, very boring. And don't get me wrong, these CPU games are going to be very boring as well. I'm literally throwing myself at the ground so I can chew clock. With that being said, though, this is so much better knowing that I have packs to open later, knowing that I'm going to be able to open packs at the end of this, knowing that I'm going to be able to maybe pull an LTD or maybe, pull some crazy stuff. And then again, there's also that, OMG, I may pull all 80s. I do want to say for these packs, I have heard of some plussy numbers. I have heard that those packs do kind of pack. They're not too bad. So I've obviously not opened mine myself. I want to open all mine for a video. I want to play for like 50 of those and open it for a video. I think it'd be really, 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 really fun. With that being said, though, we're through the first half. Now, the first half is get the clock out of the way. This is going to be now your get your points. Defense is going to be easier to get points on because You're not having to score and stop the clock to get points. Now, how are you going to get points here? Well, a tackle for loss is going to be 2 points, and then a tackle for loss with a sack is going to be 3 points. Usually, if you get 1 or 2 of those, it's kind of game. They're not really going to score again. So you have to be careful, obviously, if you do get the ball back and then you end up, getting a tackle for loss. That's a little annoying, but as you see, almost right there, we got it. Now, the best thing about this is I'm always getting them the 4th down, maybe not the 2nd or 3rd down, but or the 2nd or 3rd. They may get a few first downs, but after that, they're usually getting 4th down. They're punting the ball. So like right here, if I don't get a tackle for loss, I'm going to end up just going and scoring on my own. It's going to be a little bit rougher because I am going to have to take some time and, go and score. And that kind of sucks in a way, as this may be a tackle for loss. If I can make the tackle, no, I cannot. Alrighty. With that being said, though, here they're going to punt. So I'm probably going to chew as much clock as possible, and then I'm going to score a field goal at the very, very, very end of the game. Because I can chew every bit of this clock, stay in the center of the field, and get ready to hit my field goal. This should be very, very easy. Make sure you do turn back on chew clock once you do go into the second half, because that is something that does reset once going into another half. But again, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, one thing I'm going to have to watch out for on this drive is I cannot get a tackle for loss. Otherwise, my field goal is not going to win me the game. So make sure you're not getting that tackle for loss. They are literally rushing like 2 people. So this has been amazing the whole time. Don't really want to get a first down there because I want to have as many downs as possible. But this is just really simple football, boys. You literally are just running the ball, chewing the clock, going down. If you don't know how to dive the way I'm doing it, it's literally just double tapping square or X. It's just like you was to dive, but you're just double tapping it, and it'll just kind of sacrifice yourself and put you on the ground. With that being said, let's go to the 4th quarter. Anywho, put your freaking 4s up. We are now in the 4th quarter, and yeah, we're going back to chewing the clock. It's not like we're actually trying to go crazy anyway. Now, right here, if I was to get to 4th down, they're probably going to call a timeout. So I know in the back of my mind, I do not want to get to 4th down. If I do, it is what it is. But as you can see here, we don't. We're good. We continue to go. They may take timeouts. I'm not incredibly sure. Just try to maybe stay within 3rd down. Don't go to 4th down because they will. You'll learn this stuff as you go. Just kind of that you'll realize their patterns. This ball, it's really weird the way they take timeouts in the tower. Obviously, it's overtime, so they'll never take timeouts. But in other CPU events, they never really take timeouts. You're just not used to it. So it's very different now. I actually do need to get a little closer because this field goal is going to be pretty freaking rough if I don't. With that being said, let's get quite a bit closer and make this a lot easier. See, they're now taking timeouts because I only have 4 downs, and they know they can take 3, and I'm not going to be able to do much about it. So I kind of sucked there. Should have got within the 12 or so, not the 10. I'm going to center this up so that I can have a good field goal, as I am letting a tackle for loss, but we did get a long enough run to where it doesn't matter. Perfect, perfect, perfect. They're not taking... I'm going to go ahead and just take a timeout here at that 1 second mark. They are not taking a timeout, so I'm going to go ahead and take a timeout there, score my field goal, and it'll be game. Now, it will be very, 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 very embarrassing if I was to miss this right here. But I'm not going to, because that would be very embarrassing, and I'm not going to do that. There we go, though. There is a game in just under 4 to 5 minutes. And with that being said, the last question that, of course, everyone is going to ask, is this better than the tower? And it's, I don't know. I know that sucks to hear after holding you here the whole time, but you don't really know. At the end of the day, you may pull absolute buns, and you may make 700K and 2,000 training, and that kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, you could pull an LTD, and that make you a ton of coins. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you are hearing this right now, you made it to the end of the video, so go down there, hit that sub button. I'll see you boys next one. Peace.